is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game.
And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing, Mayfield. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
At their own 38-yard line.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. I see an extra defensive back on the field. A little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Now Rodgers. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins.
And he is going to have a Packers 1st down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the 1st down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
And that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
following the pickup of 4. Here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Jones. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for first.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. Rodgers with a keeper. And no signal, but I don't think he got the surge behind center. No, he's going to be kept out of the end zone. On the sneak, Rodgers. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Now, that was a little too conservative for my liking. It's only 2nd down, and they try to run the sneak. Give credit to the defense. They pushed him back and set up 3rd down.
This Carolina defense looking to keep him out of the end zone once more. 3rd and goal. They'll look to run with Dillon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A.J. Dillon. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Packers will strike first here in this wild card matchup. Extra point up and through. And that makes the score 7-0.
After the touchdown, on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Mayfield.
That's going to be caught. It's Chenault.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. Mayfield.
Trying to get it to Anderson, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now it's 2nd and 9.
Rodgers going to throw.
That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Rodgers now on first down.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
26. 30.
Here's Rodgers. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Packers.
Romeo Doubs.
66 yards.
And the Packers go up by 2 touchdowns.
Now for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Packers 14, Panthers 9. Pat O'Donnell set to kick off.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
Their own 17-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a
trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick.
And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
Xavier Woods with a pick. And the Panthers are going to have it here at their own 15.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive. And Mayfield again with the interception, his third. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
On second down, it's Joe. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Panthers. He's at the 50. The 30. 10. 5. And he takes it into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery and a touchdown for the Panthers.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down.
Now it's Rodgers.
And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. 20. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. 66 yards.
And the Panthers take the blocked field goal and convert it into 6 points.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
To throw again on second down. Rodgers flushed out right. Completes it. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
The Packers on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Rodgers.
Got a man, it's Tunyon.
And they worked this well upfield across the 45. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Now a first down carry by Jones.
And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Now Rodgers.
Got Dobbs over the middle.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 33. That'll put him over 100 yards receiving now here in this first half of action.
Very nicely done there on the reception. And what an impact this rookie made on this offense, Charles, in the regular season.
Yeah, he's a big part of why they are where they are. He stepped into an important role, embraced it, and in a lot of ways expanded it, and immediately made a connection with his quarterback.
On first down, Rodgers.
Completed out left to Dobbs.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that will bring up 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball. And they keep making the connection.
They go back to the ground with Jones. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers.
He'll check this down, complete to Dillon.
Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. 13 yards remaining on 2nd down.
Rodgers now to throw. That is caught inside the 5.
And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Now Jones. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
They'll try again with Jones. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And this one is right through.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think
that his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Packers are going to take over at their own 41. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Following the interception, Mayfield. He's going to look deep for more. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Panthers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Wow, so wipe out the INT, roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This one from 48 yards away. Gonzalez's kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Fields the squib kick right around the 30. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with Rodgers behind center, you wonder if they'll take one shot at this. A final shot before half for Rodgers. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium. But you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Throwing now is Rodgers.
Open man left side. It's the tight end, Tunyon.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
It's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
To throw, Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Returnable here from the 38. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. From just shy of midfield, Rodgers. The throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Oh, that's a big let-off there on 3rd down because you've got to account for the running back coming out of the backfield. They didn't, and they got burned, not just for a 1st down, but for big yardage as well.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Xavier Woods with a pick. And the Panthers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the third quarter, but now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground. Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
First down, Mayfield. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. On second down, McCaffrey. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
A first down throw from Mayfield. And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter of play. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. A big one coming now for the kicker, Zane Gonzalez. And he'll be kicking into the wind in the 4th quarter now. Gonzalez's kick is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now at 17-13. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the air.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers rolling to his right. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed to
It's intercepted.
Picked off by J.C. Horn. He exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Mayfield. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Throwing, Mayfield. That's to McCaffrey, complete. And some room to work.
Down the sideline he goes.
Touchdown, Carolina.
Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the 4th as they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down. Rodgers going to throw. Throw left side, complete. That's Jones. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down at will.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
He'll find Jones again, complete. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. The tackle by Matthew Ioannidis. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers.
Yet another pass into the hands of Tunyon.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of, and in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a 4th quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about his desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
Back to throw, Rodgers. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And his kick here is good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier. And this time, there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll put it out to the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
Mayfield to throw. Gets this to Moore.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Mayfield.
He's going to look deep for Moore. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Eric Stokes. Boy, they get him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's a defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers.
Got Dobbs over the middle. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So on is their kicker, and it's down to this. This to advance to the divisional round. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And that changes everything here in OT.
Plenty of chills and thrills in this one, and more to come here as overtime will decide who moves on to the divisional round. This taken in at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And, CD, we get to see the debut of the brand-new postseason overtime rules. Now, as everybody is learning, both teams are going to be guaranteed an offensive possession. So they might get the ball first here, but a touchdown does not right away win the game.
And we saw many marker games along the way that sparked a lot of conversation. But the Buffalo-Kansas City game, the 2022 playoffs, that really brought about this rule change. What an amazing game, a true classic. Ended in overtime without Buffalo getting a shot with the football, and the people didn't like that at all. So starting this season, if you make the playoffs, you'll get a chance to answer if the other team scores first. And that way, you get a chance to keep a great game as well as your hopes alive as you chase the big prize.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But nice start for them here to overtime. And maybe the plan here is don't do anything too crazy. Don't try for some big play, Charles. Just move the chains, put the pressure on the defense.
Well, these early first downs are certainly nice confidence builders as they begin overtime, because even though you've just played 4 quarters, the feeling's entirely different when you take the field in OT, because you just want to settle in, as you suggested, keep the ball moving, and rely on your opponent to make that first big mistake.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Rashawn Gary, give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the scrambler or the dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
To try again after the sack. Mayfield got his man, Robbie Anderson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 27 yards there, a first down.
Not lacking aggressiveness here to begin overtime, Charles. A pretty big play right there. And looked like it might have caught the defense off guard. They may have been expecting something a little more conservative.
Yeah, they've got to shore things up in a big way, because they make any more mistakes like that and really let them drive it on them, they'll be putting their offense in a tough spot to answer if they want to extend their season.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. He's got a man. That's Marshall. Uses the stiff arm. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. Back-to-back completions, and that puts them in enemy territory.
And we're always looking for that elusive term momentum, aren't we? And I think they're building it with the back-to-back completions. Now they feel like they can either take a shot or continue to build it the way that they're doing now. Safe throws, get it to their playmakers, and see what happens.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Mayfield to throw it. He rifles complete. Caught by Moore. Touchdown!
And, Charles, that touchdown alone doesn't win him the game anymore with the rule changes and overtime of the postseason, but they still went down, scored, got the job done, and now they put it in the hands of their defense.
And with the other side now guaranteed an overtime possession, getting that score was vital. The pressure's now on their opponent, and their defense, they have to play off the momentum the offense generated. One stop, and they end this game.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, CD, in the regular season, they would already be celebrating. Not so simple here in the playoffs. Now they also need to make a defensive stand if they want to pick up the victory.
Yeah, I'm sure the team would be in favor of just taking the win right now. But in a small way, those defenders also kind of happy for the rule change, because now, on the big stage of postseason, they're the ones who can come out here and lock down the victory.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. A little dinking and dunking that they're doing. At some point, is it appropriate to maybe take a shot?
It is if you feel good about it. But otherwise, you do what a coach told me a long time ago. Take what they give you, but make them tackle. In other words, get it to one of your guys in space. If you make someone miss, that could turn into the big play you're looking for.
Well, this is where the new rule comes into effect. In past years, this game's over. They've got a chance, though, to match touchdowns now. It's 1st down.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And that's caught at the 25. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 25 yards that time.
Well, we know they need a touchdown here to keep their season going. And on that play, wasting no time to try to push that ball downfield, partner.
Yeah, and even though the season's hanging in the balance on this drive, I don't know what you see, but I don't see any fear in the eyes of this offense. They're dialing up big plays, risky throws. They'll do whatever it takes to match touchdown for touchdown. And in this moment, they need to play the best they have all season, and they certainly appear to be ready to rise to the occasion.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
What we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Nervous time now, moving the chains, an absolute must. Here's 3rd down.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And it's a Packers touchdown.
Well, CD, they had the overtime answer. Now the question, do they tie it or go for the win?
Well, the teams already knew. The best teams, they made up their minds before they got to the end zone whether they were going to go for 2 or go for the tie.
Rodgers will throw for it. Oh, it's intercepted. That'll seal it. Picked off by Danny Trevathan.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside.
The Panthers season will press on as we say so long, everybody.